Okay, Sonny, here we are back for part two, Dragonslayer flip through. And do you have any comments from our first session?
It looks like it'd be a very fun game to play.
Yeah, do that. All right, I'm going to share my screen. Give me a second. All right, I wanted to start at the elementals. I know that we were all the way into harpies, but I just thought it would be fun because you take a look at these elementals, and does this kind of remind you of anything?
Um, yeah, it
Yeah,
reminds me of swords and wizardry.
does it?
Yeah.
Playing Swords and Wizardry. All right, so here's the monster manual from AD&D. Does that look kind of familiar?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of clear homage to original AD&D, and then look at the water elementals too. That's kind of fun,
Yeah.
huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, and the earth elemental as well. So little things like that, like the tip of the cap to all these little things. It is um, it's everywhere in this book, and it's so much fun because people who love the old game will appreciate all of this. They'll take a look at this and they'll be like, "Oh yeah, this is just like old times. This reminds me of old times." But these rules are more streamlined, more workable. Laser eye. All right, let's see. Let's get to where we were before. Oh, we had passed by giants already, huh? The giants look so awesome, don't they? Cloud
Yeah.
giant. In fact, let's take a look. Let's compare the giants. Let's see.
Mhm.
Yeah, put in some music while I'm looking for giants in this thing. Oh, where's the stupid? There we go. Let's go like this, Sonny. Go to the G's. There we are. Giants. All right. Let's see what we got here. So let's compare Cloud Giant. Where is he? All right, there's our Cloud Giant in the original. There's our Cloud Giant now, so it's clearly, a nod to the original, right? Yet
Yeah.
it's a superior work, right?
Yeah.
It's definitely gotten cooler. I mean, the hat or the whatever you call it, that
Ron.
yeah, crown. Let's see, we're throwing rocks. Let's see, I'm going to. All right, here's our fire giant. Okay, and our hill giant. Okay, let's take a look and kind of compare what we had back in days of yore. That's our frost giant. There's our fire giant. There we go. Okay. That fire giant's so ugly. All right. Okay, so there's not a lot of similarity there, although they're both wearing armor and carrying a sword. So I do enjoy the newer one. Oh my gosh, I hate when that happens. I do enjoy the newer one, but the old one's pretty classic though. All right, where's our hill giant? All right, this guy with the underbite, this classic, classic look. And then that, so you can see like it's very, very influenced by, you know, what went before. Looks really fun, huh? All right, let's check out the storm
Yeah.
giants. Oh, frost giant. Let's do frost giant. Okay. And stone giant. Okay, so we'll go up for frost giant. There's our frost giant. It's got the axe, kind of looks like a Viking. Yeah, similar thing, right? So, and then let's take a look at the stone giant. I think you will see the similarity right away. Although, you know, just because with the stalactites and stuff like that, and just the look of his head, just kind of that bald look, you know. Pretty awesome. All right, let's see. Stone giant. Storm giant. Okay, let's take a look. All right, here's our storm giant back in the day, and this is our storm giant now. So, you know, bit of a similar look with the catching the lightning. Um, so anyway, yeah, I thought that'd be fun to look at, you know, because that's what these pictures do is they remind you of those old days and you know what that's like. And wow, that is a giant beetle. Holy cow. Can you imagine how tough that would be to cut through?
Oh yeah. You'd want to smash that.
Yeah, man. And then a giant centipede. I'm not sure how big those are. Oh, 1 to 2
1 to
feet
2
long.
feet.
Okay. Yeah, we just about have centipedes that size in real life, don't we?
Yeah.
One's from like Madagascar or something like that. Giant ferret. Guys getting. Okay, we saw these before. The frog, yes. Awesome. Okay, so we are the python. That guy's in big trouble. Oh, wow, that's a huge rattlesnake.
Oh yeah.
Would not want to be in that confrontation.
No.
And there's a big scorpion. Let's see, 3 to 5 feet in length. Okay, so that's helpful. I do like when artists draw for scale on something that's giant, but
Yeah.
you know, if, at
It
least
being
it's
listed
written
also
there. You can
helps.
kind of picture it. I like this giant slug, you know, like that gives you a scale. It's like, wow, okay, it's that size, like immediately. And then this spider here, tarantula, giant snapping turtle. Ticks are disgusting. Oh, a giant Wolverine, that
Right.
would be ferocious. I wouldn't want to run into that. Now this knoll looks pretty awesome. What do you think?
Yeah.
Let's
Yeah,
compare that
Knolls are cool.
to olden days here. Let's check out the knolls. All right. All right, so that's the old-fashioned knoll, and that's the modern take on it. I do say, or I have to say, I do like the modern picture better. Although, you know, I mean, this is for what it was. These were good pictures, you know, back in the day, the original Monster Manual. So I'm not trying to like talk down on these old pictures. Like we love them, they're classic. That's why we're trying to emulate them here in
Yeah.
our modern works because we love these so much, you know, and so we want to kind of stand on their shoulders and um, you know, just create something that tips its hat to the original creators. What do you think
Yeah.
about this goblin?
Gabby.
Got big nose.
Yeah.
Here's kind of the original goblin. So I don't know. He's got floppier ears in here. I kind of like the Pathfinder goblins. You know what I mean? But
Yeah.
that's fine. All right. So now we're looking at golems. All right. let's take a look and see what we've got here. Got flesh golems, we've got bone golems, and amber golem. All right, so I don't think there was an amber golem in the original or a bone golem. But there was a flesh golem.
Yeah. Frankenstein.
Yeah, and you're gonna see the similarity on this one. The old-fashioned AD&D, and yeah, definitely. So, a bronze golem. Let me see. Did we have bronze golems? Well, okay. So here's an iron golem, basically the same, right, as that bronze golem. So really fun. Clay golem. Oh, it kind of looks pudgy, huh? Here's this clay golem. He's pretty tubby himself, isn't he?
Yeah.
And then, okay, so here's a little bit of an upgrade on the iron golem concept. I'll tell you what, I wouldn't want to be meeting this guy if I was just like a thief or something.
No.
Leather armor. Nope. All right, let's look at stone golems. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna actually I'm gonna do this, bud. I'm gonna do a side by side like this. That way it's gonna be a little bit. All right, stone golem. Let's take a look. Yeah, that one I never did like the sun hat thing he had. You know, it's kind of weird. This is great though. Really like that. And
Yeah.
wood golem. I don't know that there was a wood golem in the original, but check out the gorgons.
Oh yeah. It's very
Cool,
similar.
huh? Yeah, it's awesome. And yeah, brilliant.
Gorilla
Yeah,
monkey.
that gorilla is pretty cool. And I don't know if there's no gorilla in AD&D. Okay.
No ripping off arms.
Yeah. All right, gray ooze. There we go. So that's really a whole different look on the whole thing. But that green slime, yeah, look at that. I was dripping down on the guy. It reminds you a lot of this stuff,
Oh yeah.
you know. Really awesome. Great white shark. Oh man, that's some picture, huh? Into the H's. Oh, griffin. Did we pass by griffins? Oh yeah, we
Nope.
did. Right there. Okay. Grizzly bears. Groaning spirit. There you go. Groaning spirit on either side. A banshee.
Isn't that just a feminist?
Yeah. Yelling at you. Patriarchy. Oh no, shoot it. All right. Here's our harpies now. So interesting that it doesn't have halflings in the monster manual of uh, Dragonslayer. Isn't that interesting?
Yeah.
But here's the harpies, nasty creatures, and then there's just like herd animals. And here's our hellhound and hippogriff. Let's see. Hippocampus.
Hippocampus.
There we go. That's you know, part of your brain right there. That's what it looks like inside your skull. Yeah. And
Hobble
then
goblins.
yeah, hippogriffs. That's pretty cool. I like that. What do
Yeah.
you think of the hellhounds? I like this new hellhound. Oh man,
Yeah.
it
He
looks
looks like a pit
really,
bull named Cuddles.
yeah, it's really menacing. Yeah, look at that. Look at that hobgoblin. Just like old times.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Do you think that's an improvement on the face there?
Yeah, I do.
Because this one looks kind of like I don't know.
Yeah.
Kind of a weird Japanese mask or something like that. But this one looks more like a goblin-y type of creature. So, all right, here's our homunculus. So let's take a look at our old homunculus. There you go. Looks great, huh?
Yeah.
Got hydras, hyenas. Here's our hydra. I kind of like this one. That's just me. Okay. Insect swarm. All right, let's take a look at the invisible stalker. That's kind of funny, huh? There's like,
Hmm.
it's just a box. Hmm.
Yep. You see, fifth edition tries to be fancy with it and give it a silhouette, but no.
Oh yeah. That's valid, but this is kind of like a throwback to the original. Like there's just nothing there. And it's just super deliberate. It's funny. All right, let's see. Into the caves. Cobalt. That's pretty awesome looking cobalt. I like that. And jackals. Where's more cobalts? Lamia. Pretty similar pictures. And then here's a leprechaun. Here's a leprechaun. Oh, leprechaun. Oh, me pot of gold.
That's just the accurate Irishman.
Yeah, it's just a guy from Ireland, right? No, it's funny. Leopards,
Oh yeah, that
lich.
lich is a definite callback.
Yeah, look at that. Let's compare the liches. Yeah, see, look at the crown.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Well done.
Scary boys
Yeah. Fine. And here's a lizard man. That looks
from
quite
Marvel.
the lizard. Doc
The lizard.
Connors. Yeah. um yeah, no, I like it. I like it. I kind of like the original where he's got a sword and a shield, but I
Yeah.
mean it's cool. I like that. And then we have the Lokatha Fishman. It's cool.
Creature from the Black Lagoon.
Yeah. And then the lurker above, right there. So this one would look a lot like a ray fish, like a ray manta. This one's a little more, um, a little more nebulous, I guess, in
Yeah.
concept. All right, and then then here we have our
Wolf,
lycanthropes.
lycanthrope.
So we got the werewolf classic. This was kind of like Wolfman werewolf, you know.
Yeah,
I never quite liked that. I like kind of the more dog face werewolf,
yeah.
but that's always been my preference. All right, here's their manticores. It looks like a female manticore.
Yeah.
And then we got a Medusa. It's a good one. I like it. And here's our mastodon. Man, imagine all the meat and stuff you'd get out of a mastodon. And the resources if you were living in that age of time. Be a big deal. Merman. All right. Did I pass Merman?
I don't know.
Yeah, because I think, well, I think no, we didn't, because it's just that the entry in AD&D, it's got
Men.
this long, yeah, men. So it goes through like bandits, brigands, berserkers, buccaneers, cavemen. This is interesting. This Greg's book doesn't have cavemen, but I do think it has Neanderthals.
Yeah.
Neanderthals. Um, Dervish. And then Minotaur. All right, let's see. I'm a little bit out of sync here, so I'll just have to find. There we go, merman. And then Minotaur. And we're not going to find Mind Flayer because that's a trademark name, right? So it'll be something else, like a Mindfucker or something. I don't know what. There we go, Minotaur and Minotaur. And Mimic. And Mimic. That's a good Mimic, man. Look at that. Like it. Morlock. I don't think there is a Morlock in the AD&D.
It's a pretty cool looking Moloch.
There's your mummies. There's your Nagas.
Neggers.
Oh, look at that. That's so cool, huh? I mean, that just kind of really kind of sets the stage, kind of gets you in the mood for danger, adventure, you know.
Yeah.
Very well done piece of art, too. Look at all the hatching, you know, a lot of skill in there. He knows where to put the shading in the proper spots to display what the light sources, you know, because you can tell the light source is coming from right where you're standing here. And, um, you know, so the shadows are in the appropriate places. It doesn't look odd or something. It just looks just right. All right, let's see. Night Hag. Oh, interesting. Yeah, no, that's cool. And a Nightmare, which is a horse, an evil horse. There you go. And here's your Nixie. Hi. I'm like a fish person. And
Mm.
there's an ochre jelly.
Auger.
Splish splash. And it was taking a bath.
Ogre.
Do 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 do. Fried okra. I love
Oh
fried
yeah.
okra. Yeah, delicious.
Oh,
Oh,
yes, the scariest monster of all. Women.
yeah, that's right. Yep, lying in wait, gonna steal your heart, and steal your wallet. Nymph. Now, where's the nymph from? Yeah, okay, there was no picture. Yeah, okay. Well, that's a nice one. I like it. Um, that looks like a, well, that's another nymph, I guess. Like a tree nymph or something. All right. Orc. There's an ogre mage here. Ogre mage to ogre mage. That's kind of neat. All right, let's compare orcs. So, are you a pig-faced orc man, or are you more like a Tolkien orc man?
Both.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I mean both are cool. I do have a strong preference for pig-faced orcs, but you know, it's fine. As long as they are evil creatures, then I can tolerate it. But if they're like player characters, then no bueno. Oh, look, this is orcs. Stronger, more regimented, more intelligent. Oh, interesting. So here's our Otyug. There you go. And our owl bear. Yeah, this never was a great picture, this owl bear one. So I've seen a lot of really good owl bear pictures since.
Yeah.
Because it's an interesting concept, but yeah. Phantom Stalker.
That's new, maybe.
Yeah, I think you're right. Pegasus. Let's see.
Phase Panther.
Oh
Not to
yeah,
be
okay.
confused with another animal.
Yeah, yeah, that's right. Gosh, what are they called?
Displacer beasts.
Displacer Beast. Yeah, that's it. And Phase Spider. I mean, that's a pretty good name for a Displacer Beast. Uh, Phase Panther, because they do have that ability, right? So kind of like Phase Spider. All right, let's see if we can find a pseudo dragon. There we go. In some wizard's tower. And let's find the piercer. There it is. That's the old piercer right there. There's another one right there. Looks good.
Yeah.
Oh, multiples. Look, could be a TPK. I kind of like the longer legs on these. You know what I mean? Can kind of see him crawl with those. Purple worm. Rakshasa. Let's see. What do we have here? There's our purple worms. There's our purple worm. And there we go. There's that lion guy. Kind of an odd bad guy, but it's classic, I guess. And then the Remoraz. So this was actually created by Errol Otis. Did you know that? Or it was first drawn by him and submitted to D&D just as like fan art, and this like took it and put it in one of their books in a
Whoa.
Dragon magazine, yeah, and made it into a creature. So
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
yeah, and then the classic Roper. Where is the Roper? There he is, right there. Pretty cool. It's kind of has this like, you know, 40s movie alien vibe,
Hmm.
doesn't it?
Yeah.
So the rock is different. Because here in AD&D, it's, huge birds somewhat resembling eagles, but Greg has them, massive avian monsters that appear like giant vultures. So it's
Yeah,
an entirely different take on the rock, like completely different. So I was surprised when I saw that. 'Cause I saw this picture, and I was like, that does not look like an eagle. And I read this and I was like, okay, well, yeah, that is different. All right, so we have Rot Grub. This is a classic picture. This guy. He's just this horrified look.
yeah,
Yeah. And this is with the torch is kind of bit of an icon, I guess, because that's how you get rid of them. You try and burn them off, burn them out.
yeah,
And the picture is like has them crawling all around the frame. It's kind of funny. All right. We've also got a rust monster. Yeah. That's a pretty menacing looking rust monster, huh? They originally they looked so silly. They kind of do anyway, but like, it just looks a little more menacing this way. This kind of looks like a funny thing.
yeah,
I guess it always was supposed to be a little bit of a, joke kind of thing, kind of gotcha, like, this silly little monster like basically makes you scared spitless. How would you say that? Sahuagin? Sahuagin?
I don't know.
Anyway, aquatic
I think
thing.
it's Japanese.
Think so?
I think so.
Hmm, okay. All right. So here we got satyrs. Funny, it's got like same beard look, right? And the little horn thing too. Um, Sasquatch. I guess. Yeah, there was no Sasquatch in the original one, so that's a good add. Like, why not have Sasquatch? I knew they did have Yeti in there, but
What?
not Sasquatch. All right. Oh, that's a good giant scorpion, though. Sea hag. Pretty nasty looking thing. I like it. And you got a sea serpent. Shadow. And Shrieker. Let's see. Here's your Shambling Mound. Here's your Shrieker.
Oh yeah,
Skeleton in the water. There's a that's kind of like one of those pictures. I can't remember which manual it's from, but there was a skeleton in the water coming out like that. So, Spectre. There it is. There's your slithering tracker and your Sphinx. Yeah, slithering tracker. No, they didn't have a picture of it. There's your Sphinx, though. Man, look at the claws on that guy. Sprites, different sphinxes. There's your giant spiders. So that's kind of your classic fairies type creature, right?
yeah.
Spitting cobra, Stegosaurus. I do think that in the original, they had dinosaurs. Yeah, they had dinosaurs in their own category. Doesn't look like
Yeah.
Greg did that. Okay. Sturge. Okay. There's your Sturge.
Drama.
Basically a mosquito
Big
bat.
mosquito.
Wonder if it gives you rabies.
Hmm.
Strangleweed. It's a good picture of Strangleweed and let's see. Sioux monster.
I
Sylph.
think that Greg doesn't have those
Yeah.
monsters in.
Oh man, that Triceratops. Oh man, that's nasty. Look at that.
Yeah. Board.
So let's see, where's that Titan? Where'd that Titan go? All right, there we are. Titan and Titan. And a Trapper Keeper. There we go. Trapper must have been a trademark term. Okay, so we have a Triceratops versus a Titanothere, which is basically like a, it's kind of a rhinoceros type animal. And there's your tree ant. And where's our Triton? There we go. There's our troglodyte. Tyrannosaurus Rex. Troll. There we go. Troll and troll. What do you think?
He's going to post bad memes on the internet.
Yeah. Well,
That
that
is
reminds me,
the
bud.
aptitude redditor.
We got, yeah, Greg's doing like a meme contest, like for Dragon Slayer. So we need to come up with a meme in the next few days, with something out of his book. So that would be fun. Vampire. Let's see. Turtle. All right. So there are no okay, there's a unicorn. Got it. Okay. Unicorn and unicorns. And then vampires.
Vampire.
Vampire. I like this vampire. It looks really good. This old one's awesome too.
Yeah. Kind of like Nosferatu and Dracula.
Yeah. Yeah, that's right. Violet fungi. There's a war
War
dog,
dog.
a white.
He's a white man.
Yeah, he's a cis white
Willow
male.
Wisp.
Yeah, okay. So wasp. I think the giant wasp was in the giant section in Greg's book, so it was all in G. And there's will-o-wisp. Let's see. There's white and white right there. Scraggle hair versus Wolverine. And
Yeah.
and then here we've got
Wolverine versus Sabretooth.
fireworks and balls.
Willow the Wisp.
Got a boar. All right, let's take a look at the Windwalker.
Windwalker's City New.
Nothing. Okay.
Oh no.
Good wolf picture like that. Dire wolf.
Winter
Okay, so
Wolf.
these are like huge wolves. That's the type of wolf that showed up on Skinwalker Ranch. Remember that story?
Yep.
Yeah, that is a classic crazy story. Winter wolf. Do these have ice powers or something?
Yes.
Owl causes fear. Okay. Freezing breath weapon.
Freezing breath. Oh,
Oh
wow.
wow.
And
Oh,
then
okay.
wraiths.
Yeah, look at the wraith. Oh, that looks so good.
Yeah.
Oh man, that looks like Halloween. This looks kind of. This one looks a little bit. I don't know. Kind of.
Sillier.
Well, it's almost psychedelic, But
Yeah.
this one looks like it's got this cool vibe of like scary Halloween. I like that. So that's nice and scary. All right, here's our Yeti. And there's the Yeti right there. And a wyvern. There's a wyvern. Yellow mold. Ah, didn't have yellow mold in there. But we got zombies. Awesome. Well, I'm going to move this aside. And now we're into the treasure. So just a bunch of tables and stuff. I'm going to kind of skip through it. Magic items. Good, good to have.
Yeah.
Swords and stuff. I do think, oh, that's cool. Suit of armor. Potions, of course. Oil of slipperiness. Potion of love. Oh, wow. Valentine's pretty soon. Almost Valentine's Day. Rings. Just a lot of magic items. That's good. Rune stones. So that's different. Spell stones. And then you've got cursed rune stones and quite a lot of different things to choose from. Rods, staves, and wands. Gotcha.
Big boom.
Yeah, gotcha. Clay golem. Yeah, so yeah, that's a good wand picture. Doesn't look like it's working out too well for him. Poor kid. Yeah. And then we got some special arrows and stuff. Some bracers. That's cool. And then some, I guess, a sentient sword here. You can have a broom to fly. Cube of force. Deck of many things. Created, no doubt, by an autistic paladin.
Of
Yeah, does that make sense?
course.
Yeah. All this dust, lots of stuff in here. Lots of items and treasures and, you know, different things. Not all of it good. Horn of blasting. Ooh, kind of reminds me of the walls of Jericho. Horn of Valhalla. So that looks like, what is it? Summon undead? Horn of the dead. That's what that is. Okay. Appears similar to the Horn of Valhalla and functions in a related fashion. Summons undead Northmen. Oh, yeah. Once the battle's over, the undead immediately turn on the blower of the horn. Ooh. Okay. He's got a dice tower. Net of snaring. Cool. Some special ropes and stuff like that. Tome of knowledge. cool. Magical weapons, or magical swords, weapons, and armor. Oh, look at that. That's a cool picture, huh? Must be darts. Wasp darts. Nice. How's that?
It's a cool. It's a cool dragon.
Yeah, that's a great picture. Now, I know that this has some kind of this is tipping its hat to something. I'm not sure what it is, but that's what I heard. So I don't know what the reference is. I'm assuming it's Conan, right?
Yeah.
Magic swords. Yeah, so we're getting into, just oodles of weapons, magic armor, intelligent swords. So it looks like you can roll up an intelligent sword or a magic sword, right? Those are cool. This reminds me of comic book version of Infinity War. All right. All right, so it looks like near the end of the book, we have rules
But
for combat. So now we're kind of getting into a lot of the different rules and things like that. So I like that it clearly lays out these are the steps of combat. I don't think that the original uh, Dungeons and Dragons manuals did a good job of that. I think it was all buried in just walls of text.
yeah.
So this is good. I like that. Combat round detail. So this gives like some details about what is involved in those actions. It's all on a single page. Let's see, player character attack. To attack a player must make 2 declarations. First, the player must identify the specific target. Second, the player must identify the weapon used. That's fair. Pardue, the holy man. Man, do you know what that's from, bud?
No.
That's from Mazes and Monsters. That was Tom Hanks's character. I'm Pardue, the holy man. um, monster attack, just like a player, the MC must identify the target and the weapon attack type as applicable. Okay. And then they give an example. That's good. I'm glad they give examples like that. That's very good. And then morale. So what happens when something happens? Let's see what it says about morale. Intelligent monsters and monstrous humanoids value their lives. The maze controller should check morale when a leader is slain or half the number are killed. And that makes sense. I think in BX, it was like when the first person dies, you check morale for the monsters. When the first person on their side dies. But when a leader's slain, it's a good time to do it as well. Critical hits and misses. All right, so a natural 20 attack roll called a critical hit is always a hit and scores double rolled damage plus strength, dexterity, or other modifiers. A natural roll of 1 called a critical miss is always a miss. Consult the chart below to determine the results of critical miss. Ah, okay, so there's some headgear slips, blind until adjusted. Yeah. Cool. Bind wounds. So immediately after a battle, PCs may bind wounds. Binding wounds heals 1d3 hit points of damage and revives unconscious PCs to 1 hit point. It requires 10 minutes of game time. All right. I wonder if you need any special equipment to bind wounds, or it doesn't say, does it? Damage and death. Death and dying. So when you reach 0 hit points, it says that you die, but there's an optional rule. If you want to, at 0, you're unconscious and you're bleeding out. And they have limited time to save you, basically, is what it is. Until you get to -10, and there's no saving you. Now, this I really like. So, do you see what this is, bud? This is like how,
Yeah.
like, rules for miniatures. Because, we definitely use miniatures, and this gives a lot of specific
Freedom.
rules around, how to use miniatures and, missile attacks and friendly fire, just reach, right? So this guy's got a pole arm. Can he reach him? Basically. And I like the way it's drawn out on grids like that. Looks like these are your minis. It's just really cool. I like how that's done. There's an example of combat. Oh man, this guy's gonna have to save versus Dragon Breath. Breath attack. All right, saving throws. So this is interesting. The saving throws are all on their own page, 258, instead of with the class. Or were they? Were they also with the class? Maybe they were, and I just missed it. Should we check? What page are we on? 259? Here's an assassin class. Yeah, saving throws are right here. So if if you're looking at your class, you can go and find your saving throws. Easy enough. But it looks like that's your level 1 saving throw. So if you want to know your saving throw beyond that, then you need to go to page 258, which is right here. And it goes by level. So makes sense. All right. Ooh, yeah, looks like that guy didn't quite make it. All right, here's some rules on dungeon exploration. Talking about time. So this is going to be interesting to read through. I don't know quite how Greg deals with a lot of these things. Let's see. There are no torches or lit areas other than those specifically identified in the text of a dungeon. Referees must record time, movement, and light. Remember that torch casts 30-foot radius. They're susceptible to water and gusts of wind. Lanterns carry light in roughly the same distance. They require a flask of oil every 2 hours. Rolling for random monsters. This is a lot like BX, rolling for random monsters, what it seems like. A 1 on a D6, indicating an encounter. You guys always seem to get that too. Every time I roll for random monsters, it seems like it's a 50-50 chance. But whatever. Atmosphere and silence. So this is kind of reiterating what he said in Barrow Maze, like just how quiet the environment is and how making noise is risky. Dungeon levels are still and dark. Ambient noises will change with the dungeon type. Noisy PCs will alert their presence to monsters and draw attention. Yeah, and so the stillness of the Dungeon environment puts additional pressure on the players and encourages a measured and judicious approach to dungeon exploration. And then rules on random dungeon restock. So if you guys left the dungeon and came back, the dungeon will be restocked randomly. Doors and traps. Bricked walls, what do you do with that? You can use a sledgehammer to break through walls. And of course, a sledgehammer would be heavy to carry. Pit traps, melee traps, range traps. A bunch of different trap types. You get a trap, you get a trap, everyone gets a trap. Maze controllers should strongly discourage PCs from sleeping or camping in any dungeon environment. Monsters prowl more often at night, and therefore monsters more likely. All right. So this is an example of play. That's good and helpful. Awesome. All right, here's the retainers part. Non-player characters hired by players during an adventure. And oh, okay. So it gives you rate per day of your typical types, right? NPC spell casting. So if you go to like a healer and pay money for, the healing, what that might cost. And this is kind of, your adventure design. So, designing an adventure for your group, the book gives you lots of great tips about what to do as a DM. Having a base of operations for your adventurers, like a small town, a hamlet, or a village, half a day's march from the dungeon. The hamlet is a place where a party can, if needed, retreat, rearm, and resupply before heading off to their first total party kills. Fun adventure. I like that. That's funny. Tips on dungeon design. So building your own dungeon. Pretty awesome. Here's a legend for, creating a dungeon map. Here's a dungeon generator right here in the book itself. So like this is like a whole separate product type, basically, but it's right here included in the book, the RPG. Like here's this is something that you might buy separate from some kind of an RPG company, right? A dungeon generator. But here it is, right here in the book. So that's kind of cool. Yeah, and then it's just kind of some evocative drawings and stuff. Treasury pictures. More treasure. And here's a Dragonslayer dungeon generator worksheet. So here's something you could print out and just generate dungeon level or something. So that's pretty awesome. And it looks like this is like an example, right, of how you could do it. All done up for you. So that's great. I like that. It's a really nice touch. Here's your wandering monsters by dungeon level. So if you're in level 1, roll a d20. What do you end up with? A goblin or something like that. It's a cool picture. And here's, level 6 to 12. Wow, who's in level 12 of a dungeon? My goodness. Oh, look, that guy fell asleep. Oh my gosh. Can't have that guy in the party.
Magic.
So here's hex crawling. So this is great. You know, if you're out in the wilderness, what are some basic rules about hex crawling? So that's really cool. How to build a wilderness that you can use for that purpose. Really good stuff, like stuff that you wish would have been laid out this simply and easily throughout the 80s and 90s and everything. And the 70s, goodness gracious. And this gives, oh, this is really good, wilderness wandering monster tables. All right, so I guess you're going by level of your players, right? So if your players are level 6 and 7, then they're going to be rolling, and they might encounter a giant python or something like that. Really good. And look at this art, it's so good. Really awesome. Yeah. Here's how the experience points work. So monster experience points. Okay, so if the monster has 2 hit dice, for instance, then they have a base experience points of 21 and a bonus of 9 for every special ability they have. So if you're creating your own monster, or if you're borrowing a monster from some other system or something like that, and you want to kind of scale it properly, then this is a guide for you. Really good. Now, speaking of experience points and levels, I don't know what the max level is for your players. Let's see if I can find that. Oh, you know what this kind of looks like? This looks a little bit like the Holmes Basic set. Do you know what I mean when I say that? Let's try this. There's your Holmes Basic set. So like a wizard and a fighter, and they come upon a dragon sitting on a pile of treasure. So that's kind of what you get here, sort of, although that's a cleric, clearly. And then some FAQ, you know, like, hey, what should I do? Is this, you know, how do I spend gold? What class should I play? What's the secret to marching order? You know, just a bunch of things that are useful to a guy, Magic User 101, you know, how to play
Yeah.
a Magic user well, you know, so that you don't die, I guess, just to leverage your strengths. Really good. Sage advice. So this is just like, this is almost like reading the book of Proverbs, you know, where it's like just little, very bite-sized pieces of tips, you know. Um, 3 dimensions, always look on the floor and the ceiling. Check 6, look behind you regularly. Aim small, miss small. Ask specific and detailed questions if you want specific and detailed answers. You know, just things like that. Carousing, so that'll be a whole section worth reading. Carousing is defined as boisterous, drunken merrymaking. You can carouse for anything within reason in the game. Yes, you can go on a crazy bender filled with ale and debauchery, but you can also research a spell or have special tools, rebuild a tavern, visit NPCs, research local history. Yeah, that would be more my type of thing. How does carousing work? So here's a guy that had been on a successful carousing evening, I guess. Oops, he burned the tavern down. And here's a time wheel for dungeons, I guess, bud. So it indicates like, okay, when uh you start your light source here, if it's a torch, I guess, then you have to light a new one in that amount of time. And then you have to roll for wandering monsters at these intervals like that. You have to rest. That's why the tent is shown there. The outer numbers of the wheel represent a turn or 10 minutes. Okay. So turn 1, turn 2, turn 3, like that. And I guess this is the event that occurs within that turn as you're making your way to it. You have to rest at the end of your 6th turn every hour. So yeah, that would be cool to make. I really like this as an addition. I mean, this is really, really good. I love that. This is an awesome touch. And that's totally something I would do. I would like print this off and use it. Random coffin and sarcophagus contents. Just, if you don't want to like try and come up with something off the top of your head, just go ahead and roll it up. Random scroll and book titles. So if your PC's wander into a library or something. Death certificate. It's got blood stains on it. That's fun. Certified maze controller. That's great. And then this is like an invitation. Shall you enter? Very cool. That's awesome. And then OGL, and there's the back. Well, what did you think, bud?
It's pretty good. Looks like a fun book.
Yeah, totally. There's your Neanderthal. I guess we must have missed him.
Yeah.
Did you know that tall is, I do believe it's German, but it means valley. So Neanderthals named after a valley that was named after a guy named Neander, right? Neander Valley. That's where we get our term for dollar. You know how we use the dollar as currency? Well, it came from Joachim's Tal, and the currency, which was a very trusted currency at the time, was a Joachim's Taler, because made of gold, right? Very well regarded, and so it over time they would just call it a taler, right? And so it became dollar, right? And so even to this day we use dollars. It's after Joachim's dollar, your Joachim's Tal. So anyway, a little bit of history for you. So yeah, this looks like a really, really fun game. I'm super glad to have it on its way. I haven't got the print version yet, but I'm super pleased to have the PDF version. And yeah, I think it's a super awesome quality product. So, all right, bud, should we pack it in?
Yep.
All right. Till next time, everybody. Have a good one.
Right.